It's been a minute since I've checked out Sahar TV. His titles and everything are always clickbait, which is kind of annoying. It's just like, what the heck? What the heck? But this is, I can't believe what just happened in Switzerland. I don't know what he's referring to, but then again, there's a lot of nonsense going on everywhere. Everywhere. So let's see if this is even special at this point.
This right here is the guy being arrested by the police. This North African asylum seeker was spitting at a Swiss lady. Watch.
Vas-y, dis bonjour. Ouh, va te faire enculer, sale chien, va. Hey, stop, stop. Hey, خد mich die ganze Zeit, Bro. Alter, خد mich die ganze Zeit.
How you doing? This is Sahar TV, and we've got breaking news coming from Switzerland. Take a look at this. Terrorist knife attack wounds 3 at Swiss train station. Witnesses describe scenes of panic and confusion when the man, who authorities said was a 31-year-old Swiss-Turkish national with a history of psychological problems, of course, they always have psychological problems.
Didn't know there was one.
Suddenly began stabbing people at the main train station in Winterthur, I don't know how to say this, Switzerland's 6th largest city, during the morning rush hour. This happened today. I am exceptionally calling this a terrorist attack, Mario Fair, in charge of security in the Swiss canton of Zurich, told a press conference. Regional Police Commander Marius Wehrmann agreed, telling reporters it was clear from the scene that the motive of this act must be sought in the realm of radicalization and extremism. He said police had received the first emergency call at 8:28 a.m. local time and that the suspected perpetrator was arrested by 8:33 a.m. The man, identified as Nassib Dedler, had been wielding a knife and had injured 3 men aged 28, 43, and 52. The eldest man had been seriously injured by stab wounds in his thigh and had undergone emergency surgery, while the 2 youngest victims had suffered stab wounds in the leg and the neck. Now this right here is footage from the scene. Take a look. This right here is the guy being arrested by the police. Now, do you think this is happening because Switzerland has a Swiss outpost in the Middle East fighting Muslims, fighting the Ummah? Or do you think this is happening because of the ideology of Islam telling this guy to go and stab people while chanting Allahu Akbar because that will grant him a higher place in Jannah? That's the prize you get for doing jihad. What do you think the reasoning is? Or are you gonna blame Israel like you always do, right? Because the Swiss government is somehow complicit in the alleged genocide in Gaza. Nope. This is happening because of an Islamic agenda. We have already seen this in the UK. We have seen this in France. We have seen this in Canada. We have seen this in Australia. It's not Islamophobic to fear Islam because we keep seeing these very same acts all across the world. Take a look at this Swiss guy just enjoying this.
It's extremism. It's extremism. That's what it is. It's again, you can always correlate things to the worst of a group of people. Does it? I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it where it's not completely offensive, because there are westernized Muslims who are like genuine human beings. Even if you go to like the UAE, yeah, the UAE, do bad things happen there? Yeah. Do bad things happen in the US? Absolutely. Like bad things happen everywhere. But to equate it with an entire group of people, I don't think is entirely accurate. I think this guy like absolutely just despises Muslims as a whole. But at the same time, there is a correlation with how much it's been perpetrated throughout, but it's been an extremism that's been allowed to fester, that's been allowed to grow because it has been encouraged. Because people, when they'd call it out, they would be called racist or Islamophobic or whatever kind of slur in order to shut it down. And when people are afraid to speak, it allows those who, when people are afraid to speak against something that's incredibly evil, the evil gets more emboldened, more encouraged to act on their duplicities. Why? Because no one said anything against them. Everything goes back to conditioning people. Again, as bad as that sounds, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. How do you prevent people from doing heinous things? You put them in prison for doing heinous things. How does a child learn not to touch a cooking stove? You either tell them to stop, and when they don't, they have to burn themselves. It's either they learn due to their parents teaching them, or they learn due to the consequences of their actions. That's literally what has to happen. The problem is for a long period of time, there was this huge pushment that every time you did something, you would say something, anytime something was extreme, they would call you Islamophobic or a bigot or all this random nonsense when you're literally just calling a spade a spade. What? If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's obviously a duck. But for some reason, people want to call that duck a swan. Why? Because they don't want to correlate every single, they want to correlate everyone from some kind of belief in one group. And a lot of people do that. Like, everyone in America is apparently an evil, is a Trump supporter, or everyone in America is like just a complete racist, or everyone in Germany is a Nazi, or everyone in like you know, that kind of thing. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the long scheme of things. It doesn't make sense in the long scheme. It doesn't make sense in general. It doesn't make any sense in general. But I think that's one of the biggest issues. That's one of the biggest issues, is the fact that people need to be able to call out and speak what they feel. The problem is, you got to call out an extremist and extremist. Like, this guy, I think, just absolutely despises it and lumps the entire religion in one bubble, in one absolute extremist bubble, which is furthest from the truth, because you can find extremisms in everything. In everything. You'll find hateful people everywhere. And I firmly believe that. Is there more of one group that is absolutely extreme and causing more problems? Yes. But I think that's primarily due to the fact that that extremist group was allowed to grow. Imagine if you allowed any other extremist group to grow, because anytime you called them out, they were targeted. Every time you... those extremist groups would feel like they could breathe more and more and more and more and more. Why? Because anytime someone called out that extremist group, they were belittled by the core public opinion. So that extremist group feels like they're justified in doing more and more and more. Like, imagine the Great Crusades being, everyone justifying the Great Crusades this day and age. And going, calling out anyone that said the Great Crusades was a mistake, saying that, oh, you shouldn't be saying that, you don't belong in society, you're a hateful person, God's gonna smite you down, you know, that kind of nonsense. Instead of being like, you know what, this just feels wrong. This just feels wrong. Oh.
Son, while this immigrant, clearly not from Switzerland, threatening him.
You looking extra fresh today, Captain? Not so much.
Hey, stop, stop. Echt mich die ganze Zeit nach, Bro. Alter, echt mich die ganze Zeit
Hurensohn bist du! Du hast Mut, du ein Mais, du blöde Sau!
So much they add to your society, so much. This video right here was also taken in Switzerland. Please tell me, show me Swiss people doing this on their free time. This North African asylum seeker was spitting at a Swiss lady. Watch.
Vas-y, dis bonjour. Ouh, va te faire enculer, sale chien, va.
That's assault.
Cochon, va. Viens, c'est pas lui, là.
Spits on a woman, and then the guys. He steps back when the guys approach him, and then punches the glass.
This video right here shows a North African man armed with a knife chasing after Swiss people trying to stab them.
I don't see anything. Move the camera. Move the camera. Move the camera. Move the camera.
Let me guess, does he also have some mental problems, mental issues, right? So you can just completely ignore the ideology that drove him to do this?
Again, it's sure a part of it is the ideology, because there's always problems in everything. But the main issue is the fact that it was encouraged. It's been encouraged. Again, look at the US as an example. Mental illness used to be something that was treated, used to be something that was like, okay, figure out the cause of everything. Mental illness is now encouraged. How many people on TikTok are suffering from some kind of mental illness? Because it's encouraged. When something that is extreme is encouraged, people will lean into that extreme because they want to be a part of that extreme group. That now everyone is dealing with autism. Everyone is dealing with some kind of Tourette's syndrome. Everyone is dealing with some kind of tism. Why? Because it makes them more popular on TikTok. Or has that phased out already? I doubt it'll ever phase out at this point. But yeah, mental illness is encouraged. Just like the people who deal with like body dysmorphia, what they need is like personal help. They need personal help, someone to talk to, someone to hear them out. Because not all of them want to have their bodies completely disfigured. A lot of them just need someone to talk to, someone to hear them out. Maybe some of the guys want to wear dresses and feel pretty. Maybe some of the girls want to be butch, but they don't want to get a complete transition to be the other sex because they don't want to be the other sex. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they have no issue with a spitting cobra, so why feel bad about spitting migrants? In Switzerland? I don't know. I don't know about spitting cobras. Are cobras even there? See if not guns, knives will be used. Crime is the problem, not the tool. Exactly. Exactly. If not knives, it'll be a car. It'll be whatever thing they have at hand. I mean, what was that person carrying around? A 9-iron, swinging it at somebody? Again, it has nothing to do with a gun. When everyone says weapon, they think a gun. I don't know why. I don't know why. A kitchen utensil is a weapon. A car is a weapon. Your hands are a weapon. Your feet are a weapon. Heck, your teeth could be used as a weapon. Ripping off someone's flesh, that would be absolutely violent. But that's the main issue. That's the main issue. It's just like the mentality has been encouraged. It's been encouraged. When mental illness is encouraged, when extremism is encouraged, guess what? People will fall into it. Why? Because it's been encouraged. When instead, it was about getting help or finding guidance and figuring out the correct path or meshing yourself into a society instead of trying to be, you know, the one that stands out in society. No, everyone became followed in line. We weren't mindless drones. We were all unique individuals, but we went to work, we do our jobs at our jobs, and then when we come home, we can be ourselves. We can be ourselves. I have no clue what's going on here.
The fact that ordinary Swiss people have to feel unsafe walking in the mall, going down the street, is pathetic. It shouldn't be this way. Europe used to be incredibly safe. It's no longer the case in some areas. In Sweden, unbelievable. France, unbelievable. The UK, some areas are incredibly unsafe. It's because of immigration. From specific parts of the world, not all immigration is bad. If you contribute, you want to assimilate, you want to be a part of the culture, fine, you can stay. But if you seek to bring your ideology from the country you came from, leave. Nobody needs you there. The next video shows an Afghan Muslim asylum seeker who breaks into a church in Switzerland, tears off the clothes of the statue of the Madonna, steals her crown, and runs away like a rat.
You would think he would put more clothes on her, don't you think? What did we learn during Pepsiti's video? Anytime they come around, offer them a goat instead. Offer them a goat instead. Animals are animals. Just offer them a goat. They'll be just as happy with the goat. And guess what? They don't need to dress the goat. They don't need to undress the goat. The goat is just the goat. They don't have to worry about it. But yeah, you would think they'd put more clothes on her.
What's it like? Oh là là. Voilà, ông cha đến này.
He just purchased his way into heaven with this.
The people you're seeing here are Swiss patriots protesting against illegal immigrants and
They murder
immigration in
goats
general
too.
that hurts their country.
Yeah,
Take a look.
yeah. Everything.
This type of revolting should be popular all across Europe, not only in the United Kingdom by Tommy Robinson. It needs to be global. If you're European and you're watching this, you still have a chance to reverse this nightmare. Be an activist. Speak about this. Bring awareness to it. If you don't want your country to turn into Mogadishu. This type of ideology has no room in Europe. I disagree with it, and I think you should too. Hopefully the people that were wounded by the terrorist attack that happened today are gonna feel better. Europe, wake up. There's time to change things. Wake up and start acting. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you.
Yeah. He clearly has an extreme bias and extreme hatred towards Islam. And again, he probably is, well, personally justified in his own hatred. He's personally justified in his own hatred. He has his reasons to hate. The thing is, I am against lumping an entire group of people into one specific kind of category. Do they have some heinous beliefs? Like, I've been through the Quran. I mean, I have it right there, right behind me. It's the green one. It's the green one, of course. Of course. It's the green one. Right next to the Holy Bible, right next to right in between the Holy Bible and like the Constitution. Like, I have a book of like the Constitution and amendments, like, you know, of America. And then like a mythology book right next to that. But yeah, I mean, I've been through it. Like, it doesn't read all that well to me, but if you spoken to like someone who's more integrated into society, the way they perceive the Quran is different than what the extremists do. Just like the way the UAE or Syria, like those which will have no problem disowning some of the other Muslim extremist nations, or will kick out those extremist imams, at which the UK or the place in Europe will take in as, you know, oh, they need help. These people are suffering. And they tend to be heinous, evil people that aren't even welcome in an Arab nation. I was like, they're not even accepted in a Muslim nation. It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the fact is, like, that kind of extremism has been encouraged, and it's been bubbling over to the point that we're going to have massive problems down the line where everyone's seen with one brush. Everyone's painted with one brush. And the problem is, when it comes to that point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from. There are people who are going to be from India, which will get roped into the issue. They will be accused of things that they have never done or don't even believe, because it's just like, It's just outright racism at that point in time. They'll just be like, you look close enough to it, your skin is darker than mine. Yeah, you're a part of the problem. That's literally what's going to turn into. The problem is, by pushing this and alienating their own people, they're creating racists of their own people. They're creating racists of their own people. Because the people don't feel listened to. And the fact that the people who shouldn't belong in the nation are getting top priority over those who were born in the nation. We should genuinely consider pigs, boars as pets for obvious reasons. Yeah. I mean, my brother has 2 pigs. No, I think one. One passed away. Or they still have them both. One's old though. If they still have them both, one's really old. But yeah, they have 2 pigs. And pigs have the mental capacity of dogs. You can literally raise them like a dog. They're just, filthy animals. They're filthy animals. But so are most animals. But yeah, keeping pigs as pets. I mean, yeah, some people do. Yeah, they house train them and everything. Well, some people, not my brothers. My brothers don't my brother doesn't house train them. My brother doesn't house train them. But they have them. They have them as pets. But yeah, for obvious reasons. Obviously. But yeah, it's obvious like Sahar TV has a bias, an absolute bias. And I can kind of understand his bias because probably given where he, his ethnicity or his belief or whatever is constantly targeted. I don't know. Since you hold moderate views, I would recommend you something from 2000s. My Name is Khan. SRK movie set entirely in USA post 9/11. My Name is Khan. That's what it's called. I think I've heard of that one. I think my wife has recommended that one to me. But I haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I probably should check it out. But yeah, the thing is, like, things will get, like, again, I remember I was there for that. After 9/11, how racist people got. Because you just got an image of the person that led to thousands of innocent civilians' deaths. And how it was this mindset, this extremist mindset that led into it, that everyone started, oh my gosh, they saw someone wearing a turban and they were like, oh my gosh, that's some of them. That's some of them. Don't talk to them. Don't trust them. They're the ones that kill innocent people. That was literally the mindset. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And you can't have that in a society. The people need to feel safe in this society. They need to feel like their government's trying to protect their society and keep their society for them. Like, that's the thing. Most people aren't against immigration. Most people are okay with more and more cultural diversity. They like to see it. They like to learn more. The problem is they don't want crap forced down their throats. They want to taste the things they want to enjoy. They want to experience cultures piecemeal. Not an entire culture going into a city and taking over that city. No, they want like a Chinatown, a Japantown, an India town, where, you know, it's like one street dedicated to cuisines, dedicated to clothing, dedicated to culture, just dedicated to all the little minute things. All the little minute things.
You guys got a video?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, where's that?